Today on In the Woodyard, we've got wood to deliver. Somebody wants to bring some Uncle Benjamin's home. That's me. It is a glorious and spectacular day here in the Woodyard. It is beautiful. It's about 68, 70 degrees. It's supposed to stay like that almost all day. Slight breeze. It's just, Wisconsin is awesome in the summertime. That's all I'm saying. I met a guy that was from Alabama about a week or so ago. He was up here working in the area, and it was like a morning that was like 56 degrees. He came and was talking with me, and he says, I just can't believe how beautiful it is here. He said, back home, he said, by 7 o'clock in the morning, we go inside and turn the AC on. He says, you know, because by 7 o'clock, it's 85, 90 degrees and 90% humidity. He said, it's just gorgeous here. And yes, it is. There's one thing that you probably have not partaken of, and I said that we have a little thing called winter here. It only lasts for 5 months, and we do have some 20 below zero with 40-mile-an-hour winds, so the wind chill's like 40 below. I said, yeah, we have that. So I know you guys don't have that down there, but we do here. But yeah, the summers here are just fantastic. Beautiful day. So I've got a delivery today. It is just for a number one. Actually, it's not today, it's tomorrow, but I'm going to load it up today, so I'm going to get it ready. So it's for 1/3 of a cord, a face cord as we like to call it here. And so I'm going to put it in the baby dumper. The next 3 days I have deliveries that are all for 1/3 of a cord. People that want to get stocked up. Now, the reason I'm going to be doing these deliveries is people that they didn't care when they were going to get the wood. They said in the next week or two, but I'm going to be gone next week. For about a week and a half, I'm going to be gone. By the time you guys see this, I'll have been back already. But we're going up there, so I think I've got 15 videos that I've got all edited and ready to go. All I got to do is upload them and then have them ready for you guys. So they will not be a pause in the entertainment. They're going to keep coming every day. So today, the thing that I'm going to talk about is something that has come up that a lot of people in the comments and a lot of people have emailed me. I've done a lot of talks about the firewood business and the state that it's in and how things are and how things are going. And I've had a lot of people that have told me, like I said, in the comments or emailing me, that have said, hey, I started a firewood business this year. Or, hey, I've been at this firewood thing for 1.5 years, 2 years now. Or, hey, I'm starting to actually get some sales. And, you know, they're telling me their story of how they've got going. And some of them have thanked me and said, thanks for giving me the information. Thanks for the start. It's been great. One guy in particular stood out, and I thought this is the guy that I should talk about. He emailed me, not going to say his name or where he's from or anything. He says, the email started like, I've got a complaint to issue with you. And I'm like, uh-oh, what did I do? Did I offend someone in some way? He said, I just want you to know. He said, I started selling firewood about 2 years ago. And he said, I've never worked harder in my life. And I had no idea that it was going to take off like it did. And that I was going to have to keep cutting and getting more inventory because I sold out. So he was complaining about success in a just kind of a funny way. He said, I couldn't believe it. He said, I can't keep up. This is incredible. He said, I have made as much money on the side doing this just in the last year that I've made doing some other side jobs for decades. He said it's going fantastic. He had told me that he's already sold close to 100 full cords of wood in just 2 years. So he's working pretty hard. He's doing really good. So I'm happy for him. That's great. But he just wanted to let me know that it was more successful than he ever dreamed. And that is great to hear. So, like myself, a lot of you started this firewood journey however long ago. For me, it was like 15 years ago that I started selling firewood. And like I've mentioned many times, I started with a 50cc Husqvarna chainsaw, 455 Rancher, and I had a splitting maul. And I borrowed a trailer, just a little utility trailer, from a buddy of mine. That's how I started my business. And it turned into this. So the moral of the story for today is that I want to talk about is be careful what you wish for. Because when I was doing that, I would go out after work and I would split wood for an hour, 2 hours, and I was splitting it all by hand and cutting, and I thought, oh, this is just great exercise. I love doing this. I wish I could do this every day or at least 4 or 5 times a week. I could get out here and work outside and enjoy the peace and quiet of the woodyard where no one's calling me, no one's in my ear telling me what to do or complaining or just, you know, phone calls, all that stuff. I can go out here and I can create some carnage. I can cut some wood, I can split some wood, I can look at it and say, look what I did today. I thought it would just be great. Because as you know, if you do any amount of wood, whether it's for yourself or selling it, it's great exercise. You're gonna sleep better, you're gonna eat better. In the morning when you're on the throne, that's gonna go better. Everything goes better when you get some exercise. And that is the #1 reason that I do this. I enjoy the exercise. I don't wanna be a guy that just sits around watching sports ball all the time, getting bigger. I'm fighting getting bigger. Since I got my tractor, I've gained weight. And that's part of the problem. I've gotten mechanized. A lot of guys have asked me, since you've gotten the tractor, I noticed it got a little, because I haven't changed my eating habits, because I've been on a seafood diet my whole life. If I see food, I eat it. And I'm getting less physical exercise now, but I'm producing more wood than ever because I've got splitters, elevators, dump trailers, processor. I'm getting a lot of wood made. And the guy that made the comment to me, that emailed me, said, he says, I've never worked so hard in my life, but I love it. And he said, it's all your fault. He was obviously kind of joking. I thought that was kind of cool. So I emailed him back. I said, I'm happy for your success. I'm sorry for your aches and pains, but I'm glad that Uncle Benjamin is coming your way. And so it's really good to hear. So the moral of the story, like I said, is be careful what you wish for. Because when I started this, I thought, it'd be just great if I could do this a little bit every day and just get the exercise. Now it's become another job, a whole nother business. It's a whole nother thing to do every day, but I like doing it. And a lot of people have asked me, how big do you want to get? I got about all I want to do here. I do a couple hundred full cords a year, along with my other business, along with YouTube. That's about all I have time for. That's about all I want to do. I know I could grow this business to be double or triple what it is in a matter of just a couple of years if I advertised more, if I worked a little harder, mechanized a little bit more, if I really wanted to go after the business. There's so many things I could do with marketing, with getting a hold of people that I could have as potential customers. I know I could really grow the business because I grew my photography business to be very successful in this area over the last 30 some years. I know I could do it again with this. The bad thing about Firewood is that it's not like a custom product. It kind of is, but it kind of isn't. It's pretty much it's a service along with a product that is kind of universal. One guy in the comments said that the problem with Firewood is it's not like you can do anything real special with it. It's wood. It's kind of like gas. You can get it anywhere. So it comes down to the common denominator of you've got oak. This guy sells it for $90 for a third of a cord. This guy's got oak. He sells it for $100. This guy sells it for $120. What's the difference? The only thing that could be different is service. So either delivery, quality of the wood, relationships you've built up, turnaround time of the service, the quality of the wood, obviously, if it burns really good, if you're producing a beautiful product, it's the details that matter. That's the only thing you can do to separate yourself is what you can do for the people differently than the other people. And again, that is delivery, service, the relationships you've built up with them. Most of my customers are returning customers. I would say 90% of the people I sell to, it's the same people all the time. A lot of you that watch the channel have probably seen me deliver wood to the same people many times. Because a lot of the people I sell to are not buying in bulk, as in heating wood, where they're buying 10 full cords a year. They're buying a third of a cord or a face cord once a month, once every other month, 3 times a year, because they want it for their enjoyment out on their patio or for in their fireplace. Those are the people I sell to the most, and they pay more because of it. They want the convenience of calling me and having wood delivered that day or the next day, and it's going to burn tonight. They're not stocking up. So big difference. So we're going to load some wood right now. Look at that, there's wood in there. So I just tossed it in. That usually takes me about 10 minutes or so to toss in the wood. Oh, come on, don't be that way. Got a little snag down here. There we go. So it takes me about 10 minutes to throw in this amount. What's the deal here? How come I'm not untwirling? What is the deal? What's the deal? There we go. Got a little snagaroo down in this end. I got it. So yeah, it takes me about 10 minutes to throw this much on generally. I can usually put a full cord in about 30 minutes, so about 10 minutes for every third. Depending on how close I can get to the pile, obviously if it's right next to it, I can throw it in a lot faster. This stuff I kind of searched and hunted for some better stuff because a lot of this wood has been in this pile now for a year. And you know, down on the bottom here, I was looking and there was some stuff that had a little bit of debris on it, and I kind of dug through it and got that off. So put the tarp on it so when I go down the road, I'm not having chunks of wood fly out and hit people, because I see chunks of wood every once in a while when I'm delivering and they notice it's not my wood, because I do use the tarps almost all the time on the trailers. And there are some people when they deliver, I see it all mounted up in the back of a pickup and it's bouncing down the road and chunks of wood can fall out, because I see chunks of wood every once in a while and I always look to see, is that one of mine? And it's not. Since I've been doing this, I've never had a piece fall out, and I think you owe it to the people on your highways, your friends, your neighbors, driving the same roads you are, to not kill them. Nothing worse than having a rock hit your windshield or a chunk of wood. People are swerving, trying to miss, causing an accident. You don't want to be that guy or girl. Make sure your load is not endangering other people as they go down the roads, so that's real important. This wood here is almost all a year and a half to 2 years old. So there's ash in here, that's what's in here the most of, ash. A bunch of maple, soft maple. There's a bunch of elm and a little bit of box elder. Those are the 4 kinds. I did see 2 pieces of apple wood and a few pieces of cherry, but that's primarily what's in here. And that is what is in my mix. So there you go. So the next thing you're gonna see is this being dumped. For me, it's gonna be tomorrow, but you're gonna see it right now.